Joining me now, CapWealth Chief Investment Officer Tim Pagliara, and also with me, Michael Lee, here on set. All right, Tim, let's start with you. Futures, we've got some red arrows right now. You've got, second quarter earnings now kicking in. We're going to get Bank of America, Morgan Stanley tomorrow. You're going to get Goldman, Tesla, Netflix Wednesday. Thursday's J&J, and then Friday's American Express. Tim, what are you expecting to hear from corporations? I mean, certainly we've got a tight labor market on one hand that companies have been dealing with, but then you've also had a lot of corporate layoffs that have been announced.
Well, good morning. I think what you're going to see in this earnings season is a realization that we're still in the very early stages of wage inflation. It's the one aspect of the supply chain that we haven't solved yet. We have a critical shortage of labor. The writers' strike in Hollywood's a good example. First major labor conflict in over 60 years. And until the administration aligns themselves with the Fed in fighting inflation, we're going to have this problem. On the one hand, they are willing to print $39 billion for student loan relief. On the other hand, they're cutting regional cost of living adjustments by as much as 50% for military families, $400 a month in many cases. And so those are inconsistent policies. Treasury Secretary Yellen talked about how the war in Ukraine was stimulating the economy. At the same time, the president indicts the war in Ukraine as the major driver of inflation. So until we reconcile those things, it is important to get administrative fiscal policy aligned with the Fed. And so we're going to continue to see problems. Jamie Dimon last week said inflation is likely to last longer, and the Fed has got more work to do. Much longer than what people think.
Well,
I'm expecting it.
That's why. Before I go, I want to go from social media really quick, Tim, and just kind of pivot back to financials before you run. Just because you had mentioned J.P. Morgan Chase and those comments we got from Jamie Dimon on Friday, Tim. You know, there's a line of thinking out there that when the small and the regional banks start to report, there could be some more cracks in the armor, if you will. You've got Jamie Dimon and J.P. Morgan ready to buy up someone else. Let's be clear here. They could snap their fingers and, drop a toe in the water and pick up a bank. Tim, are we ready for more failures here?
I think we're going to expect some instability in the banks. They still haven't gotten their balance sheets straightened out. To your point about J.P. Morgan, they're so big, it would require waivers for them to acquire any more banks, or they'll just continue to, become more dominant than they are right now. So I think that is going to be something to really watch in this earnings season. The regional banks are like C students. If they come in with a C+ and they're doing a little better than what people expect, there'll be some relief, but I'm not expecting anything other than very, very mixed results with the banks.
Low bar, if you will, certainly.
It is.
Yeah. Tim Pagliara, thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. Thanks for the commentary. We'll see how the rest of the financials do. And, of course, Tesla's coming up this week as well.